Burnout, specifically career burnout. Have you ever suffered from career burnout? You know that feeling where you don't feel like you're achieving, you can't get out of bed in the morning, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Some of the symptoms might be that you're abusing drugs, alcohol, or food too much. Or it might be that you just feel tired with no real goal, no real purpose. I'm Christine, Empowered Women in Business, and today I'm going to talk about career burnout, the three causes, and the steps that you can take to actually improve your lot, improve yourself from and avoid career burnout, so that you can feel fulfilled, so that you feel like you're actually contributing. I know when I speak to women in business and in their careers, in corporate careers, they have this sense of having something more to offer, that we know that we've got something, but we feel like we're just not achieving that thing. And so you can very often feel burnt out because you're not achieving that, you're not feeling fulfilled. And I know for myself, there was a period of time where, as a carer, I felt like I wasn't fulfilled. I felt like my life wasn't worthy. And so I got back into work, and I came to realize that it wasn't about the money. It was about feeling like I was part of something. So career burnout can make you feel like you're not worthy. It can make you feel like there's so much more to give, and you feel frustrated because you can't actually make it happen. So some of the causes, the three main causes, are excessive workload, poor work-life balance, or lack of clarity in what you're actually doing. So let's talk about excessive workload. And I know that very often we take on a lot more. We say yes to everything that's out there. And all of a sudden, we've got all this extra tasks that we've got to do. We're working from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night, and maybe coming back in at 6 o'clock and then 10 o'clock at night. And then we're still working, and doing all these things that maybe we don't have to do. And I know for me, I was doing exactly that. I'd become burnt out in my career. I'd become state manager in the role that I was in, and I was going to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and staying till 7, and then 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. Then I found myself going in on weekends. And then I started to ask myself, what am I doing? It came to Monday morning, and I'd spent all weekend at work, and people said, how was your weekend, Christine? And I didn't have anything to say. So I want to share this with you because I want you to avoid these symptoms, avoid this trap of burnout, of spending too much time doing all of the things that maybe you didn't need to do, all the extra tasks, all the proposals, all the sales calls, all the running around on that treadmill and having excessive tasks to do. So one of the things that you can do if you find yourself burnt out because you've got so many things to do and you're not actually achieving them all is to make a list of those things and to ask yourself, which things on this list are actually important? Which things on this list, if I didn't actually do them, would I miss? What things can I drop? I know that that's what I do when I'm getting to that point of exhaustion. I just stop and just do the things that I just have to do. And very often I find that the things that I dropped, I don't miss. So that's one thing that you can do is take a look at what you've got on your workload plate. Which tasks can you delegate to someone else? Which tasks can you just drop altogether? Because that could be a contributing factor to burnout. The second thing could be poor work-life balance. It could be that you're just spending all your time, like I did, spending all your time at work, and you don't actually have the downtime. And you find yourself, you get to the end of the week, and you're just exhausted, and you spend your weekend just tired, sleeping, making up the time. So we do need to take care of ourselves, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't be the best person that you can be. You need to actually have work-life balance. Now, work-life balance means that you're spending the time at work that you need to, and then you have time to be social to have fun, to find things that you like to do so that you can have something to look forward to. And one of the things that I say, somebody told me I was like just flat. Nothing was making me happy. I didn't have anything to look forward to. I didn't have that work-life balance. I didn't have that career home life balance. Somebody said to me, date yourself, find things, take yourself on different experiences and see what things might light you up. So I started doing that. I started taking myself out. I started taking myself to wineries. That was fun. Then I started taking myself on nature walks, or I joined meetups and I started doing different things to experience what might bring me joy, what might light me up, what things would I have to look forward to on the weekends. And one of the things that I did was I took myself sailing. Back in my previous life, before I had my children, I used to sail on the weekends and I'd sail on Wednesday nights. And I thought, I might try that again. But I thought, no, I can't do that. How am I going to do that? I'm a full-time carer for my daughter. And then I thought, no, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make a decision that I'm going to find a way to do this sailing thing because it was exhilarating. So if you don't have a work-life balance, maybe you can ask yourself, what things light me up? What things used to light me up? How can I include that in my weekday? Because I had to make a decision. I had to focus on giving myself that work-life balance. And as women, very often we put ourselves last. We say yes to everything that's out there, yes to everybody else's needs, and we don't look after ourselves, and our work-life balance slips out the door. So ask yourself, what lights you up? How can you get balance in your life? How can you find that energy? How can you have something to look forward to? And do like I did. Maybe you can go sailing. Maybe you can find the exhilaration out on the water. If nothing else, it's a healthy pastime out there in the water, the sea air, the breeze, pulling on the sheets. It's so good. Find yourself something else to do. Ask yourself, what lights you up? How can I get that balance back in my life? And another thing that can cause career burnout, it could be career burnout and it could be business burnout, but we're focusing on career burnout. And the other thing is lack of clarity. Lack of clarity about where you're going to, what it is that you do, what are your goals, how are you going to get there? If you don't have clarity, then you don't know where you're going to end up. And it could be that you're not getting clear directions from your manager. It could be that you've got people that are answering to you that are dragging you in all directions. Most often, if we don't have clarity, it leads to stress. If we don't have clarity about how we fit into the whole business, it leads us to be stressful, causes us to be burnt out, and then we find ourselves in this situation where we lack energy, we don't want to go to work. We start that cycle where we're, might be eating too much, it's stress eating, or avoiding the social situations because we're too stressed or too tired or too burnt out. What's really important, whether you're in business or career, is clarity, a clear direction of how you fit in. And you also need to know that what you're doing now has an impact on the outcome. You need to be able to see how that thing fits in. It's very easy when you're in sales to say, oh, okay, I made 10 calls today and I made 2 sales out of that. Wow, that's a KPI, a key performance indicator. But when you're in other sorts of roles, it might not be that you have a clear sight of the tasks that you do to the outcomes and what you can celebrate. So you can set up and draw a line. What's the outcome? What is the objective of the role that you do? And what is it that you do here that can take you? What steps that can you take to make that thing come true, to bring that to life and make this thing? So it might be that It might be that you're in a call center. It might be that you have to make 100 calls a day, or it might be that you see 3 patients, or it might be that whatever it is, what is the outcome that you're seeking? You need to be very clear, whether it's in business or career, what is the outcome that you need to get out of your career? It's very, very prevalent in career settings, because if you're not clear on the tasks that you do, you can get sandwiched between managers and other people around you, and that's a cause of stress. An energy vampire causes you to get burnt out, not feel like you're important, not feel like you have something of value, and pretty soon you don't want to be going to work. You don't want to get out of bed in the morning and start to get those headaches. So it's very important to have clarity on what it is, the reason that you're there, and the outcomes that you're expected in your workplace. I know for myself, when I've been in roles where I didn't have a clear picture, I wasn't clear about what my role was, that it led to stress, because I was doing the work and not actually doing the thing or getting the thing that my manager was expecting of me. And it leads to, because you don't know, why am I going to work today? What am I going to do? So it's very important to set yourself tasks. I also say it's important to celebrate the small things big. So the small things, it might be that just the small things of just getting to work in the morning. Celebrate that big. Isn't it great to be here? And the more you celebrate the small things big, the more you start to light up, the more you start to get energetic about things, the more that you avoid burnout. So those are the 3 things that cause burnout: excessive tasks, lack of clarity, and poor work-life balance can lead to career burnout. If this is something that you found really interesting, something useful, then you're going to love the video that I did on getting anything you want by changing your identity. I'm Christine, Empowered Women in Business. Bye for now.